What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I am out at the project farm today and it is still technically winter. Zone 8, South Carolina will get our last freeze in March, around the 14th to 20th. Currently, I'm out at the project farm. I've been pruning down some things. We've been chopping and dropping and wood chipping. We're getting water catchment all set up and ready and drip irrigation going. We've got our vegetable mandala garden ready to go. Come on back and let me give you a brief peek at what's going on here. It's going to be a big year going into our third year. Please like, share, and subscribe, as always beforehand. Enjoy the journey. Hey buddy. This is the permaculture dog, Phineas. He is a rescue pit bull, rescued from the store here on site. Might as well start at the top of the hill today, garden fans. We got a education center up here with 10 300-gallon IBC totes. The back of this has been storing water for a good couple months, and just about all of these are absolutely filled with water. So one of our goals here coming into March is getting the water catchment set up in such a way that we can get the water from here at the top of the hill down the hill to our swales. And the solution for us was a big giant overgrown drip irrigation system. So we're already kind of laying out some thick plastic piping that we can cut and mold and shape and get it going up and down all our swales. Basically a big giant overgrown drip irrigation system. The farm here has 5 giant swale patties on it, and at the top of the hill the planting is much more diverse. As we get downhill, it's a little more like monocropping, but still very diverse in the plants that we're planting. I've been going through here today cutting down all the autumn olive. It's a nitrogen fixing shrub. We plant it next to all our trees, our nut trees. This is a pecan right here. Another example of that, we've got this giant Chinese chestnut that really kind of blew up last year, and it itself has a now 5-6 foot autumn olive shrub right next to it. So I'm using these autumn olives as chop and drop. I'm just going to take them down to a size, and we're going to leave them there, and we're going to continue to prune them into these smaller shrub-like species, really support species for the nut trees that are up here. If you look at my feet, we've been wood chipping. We chop and drop and wood chip, and we do most of that in the fall and winter, and we have got a good foot layer of wood chips down. After we've chopped and dropped all the fall weeds, every patty gets a good wood chipping. So that's what you see here on patty 1 and down here on patty 2, and as we get down the hill we haven't got them all done yet. You'll see that as well. What I want to make the dominant understory species is blackberries. So all these purple leaves, hedge, going down the swale are blackberries. And they're going to be a great understory for the trees that are not too far away. So we got a mulberry right here. Mulberry is going to get 80-90 feet tall. Okay, these blackberries below it aren't going to affect it. And then once again, here is autumn olive growing around the mulberry to try to stay alive. Isn't that awesome? All the swales, we are transitioning from growing vegetables on the swales to growing shrubs, fast-growing edible shrubs, and in our case it's going to be elderberry. So we got a bunch of elderberry on our swale mounds that, as we chop and drop and weave through, we'll continue to solidify this swale. This depression in the ground will solidify this as an element by having a living hedge of elderberry build up. So as water flows downhill and nutrients are going to start and accumulate right here and slowly sink and spread into the patties below. This is a pretty well thought out system. It's doing really good. This is a loquat. There's a huge mix of fruit and nuts here. I'm not going to go over all of them. Most of them are no apples, no pears. We've got jujubes, we've got pomegranates, we got figs. Here's another hedge of blackberry. You know, right next to a swale. This is the wettest portion of this area. So it really likes things like elderberry grow here, blackberry grow here. It's very wet. Here is a swale patty that is not chop and dropped. So you can see all the fall weeds are still out here. We've got asters, we've got goldenrod, we just got grasses, tall grasses. And what we'll do until spring comes is continue to chop and drop all those weeds and wood chips so that everything looks like this for the spring. And we'll come in here and continue to plant. Seaberry is high on our priority list this year. I've got about 50 of them coming in, so we'll see if we can get some seaberry established. This right here is pineapple guava, shrubs in the landscape. Next to trees, like once again, jujube, more uncommon fruits that grow well in Zone 8, South Carolina. Here is our, once again, here's that drip irrigation system going down our swale drain. Culvert here goes all the way down to the bottom of the hill, fills up our swales. Any overspill from the swales all comes into this common catchment here on the side of the hill. All the water comes down the hill and into our mandala vegetable garden that is getting ready for spring. We've got the land prepared. These are all hugel mounds, so all the lumps have been hugel mounds. And when we get a lot of rain, water trickles into this mandala garden and just kind of meanders around the corner and fills up over here. And this just kind of turns into a big wet catchment area. So we grow a lot of veggies here. And we'll cut to a little scene of what this looked like maybe a few weeks ago. So here's our little mandala garden finally coming to shape this year. And of course, right now it looks awesome. At the bottom of the hill, we have more acid-loving plants and shade-loving things. We do have pawpaws growing here, also with autumn olive, nitrogen-fixing shrubs, and I'm pruning them down to about 6 feet tall so that they can act as shade cover for the nearby pawpaws. Pawpaws do like a little shade in the early part of their life, but later on they like full sun. They get tall. Anyway, garden fans, with the education center up top, we're going to be having lots of volunteers come in and help work. I mean, chopping and dropping, doing wood chips, planting vegetables. There is a big education. There's a big need for this to get out. This information has to get out, and we're going to do our best to do that. We appreciate you all watching as always. Please like, share, and subscribe. A little piece of land can grow a lot of food. Veggies on the way, spring on the way. A really nice airstream on the way. I don't know. Keep in touch, garden fans. God bless.